So first of all, my name is Verena Stanzl. I'm a data scientist in the manufacturing domain myself, and I'm also active member of Women in AI Austria, where we promote women in the field of artificial intelligence and work towards gender inclusive artificial intelligence. That's why I'm super excited today to have all these fascinating experts together here on this virtual stage and discuss with them the state of feminization in the manufacturing domain. So first of all, a few words to the projects who are involved in this webinar today. So first of all, we have Integrare, whose goal is to implement additive manufacturing for large metal parts. Then the second one is Dimofak, which is aiming at reconfiguring assembly lines faster to adapt to mass customization production. Penelope is developing a novel closed-loop digital pipeline for flexible and modular manufacturing, improving the efficiency and precision in manufacturing of large components. And then we have also Level Up, which is intending to make industrial equipment last longer. And the I4MS, lastly, the flagship of European initiative to digitalize SMEs in Europe. So these are really fascinating projects, and we have from each project one representative today here on the virtual stage. So first of all, I would like to introduce them, and then we will start right into the discussion. So we have Pilar Rey. She got her PhD at the University of Santiago de Compostela and has more than 18 years of experience in materials science and engineering. With her experience in over 36 research and development projects, she published over 20 articles in journals, which is really impressive. She is involved in the Integrare project, where she is doing her research of the metal part properties, as a function of the process parameters and conditions, evaluating data from various stages of the process. So welcome on the stage, Pilar, and thank you for attending today. Then we have Silvia Castelvi. She has a bachelor's degree in industrial engineering from the Polytechnic University of Catalonia. She is now a stakeholder engagement senior consultant at International Data Spaces Association. Before, she worked 18 years in Atos with manufacturing customers, and the last years in Industry 4.0 innovation and research project. We are very happy to about sharing your experience today, and also for the project Level Up. So thank you and welcome, Silvia. Then we have Lucia Alonso. She holds a bachelor in industrial technology engineering and a master degree in mechatronics. And for the last 6 years, she's been working at Aman as a researcher in the field of digital factory and digital manufacturing, focusing on digitalization and interoperability concepts and developing digital tools for different manufacturing processes. She also brings her knowledge into the Penelope project. And finally, we have Monirey Puyafarian. She holds a master's degree in computer science with a focus on software engineering from the Technical University Kaiserslautern in Germany. She works as a researcher at Kaiserslautern German Research Center for Artificial Intelligence. She has a very deep knowledge in the fields of software design, information modeling, AI, and big data analysis. Her research now focuses on innovative factory system with a focus on standardizing and digitalizing module systems for modular production based on Industry 4.0 concepts. And this goes also into the Dimofak project. So thank you all and welcome on the virtual stage. Before we would like to go into the discussion, also for you as the audience, if you would like to pose a question or a comment, whatever you would like to share with us, please just type your questions or comments into the chat and we will tackle them during the discussion and read them out loud afterwards. So thanks in advance for your comments and your inputs. And to start the discussion, and also as a kind of warm-up round, I would like to ask the different panelists about their backgrounds and why they choose chose in going into STEM, as we already know, the women are very in minority and in few numbers in studying STEM. So I would like to know why you chose your careers and degrees. And maybe I would like to start with Monire. Maybe you can share your experience why you chose you studied computer science. So what was your motivation to go into this field, and was there a special moment, or did you have already been into this field? And maybe you can share some insights for us.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, thank you, Verna, for providing this platform. Then we can discuss, yeah, such an important topic. Yeah, well, I can easily back to a very long time ago. I guess I was like a teenager. I was 13 or 14. That we needed to after the first year of high school, we needed to choose where we wanted to go, and I just wanted to try computer, yeah, to try what is computer about. And then I went to the practical, let's say high school, that yeah, we were starting with coding with DOS. It was the operation system. It was just a black screen with some white lines, and then I started programming with Pascal language, and it was really fun. So I continued in so I've been in computer science for more than 15 years now. Yeah, it was a fun time. Yeah.
Thanks a lot. Sylvia, how about you? What is your experience?
I decided to study engineering when I was, can remember, 8-10 years. And due to I live close to a nuclear power plant, we visit the power plant and they explain us how it works. And then I find it fascinating, and I decide that I want to work in similar facilities. And then I decide to study engineering. That was the most appropriate career for that purpose. That's all.
Thanks a lot. So you two decided to quite early to start into the fields. How about Lucia? Have you also been in such a young age when you decided to start a career in this field?
For me, it was completely different. When I was a child, I was good at studies related with science, but I didn't know what I wanted to study in the future. And I remember a visit that I did to the high school that I was studying at the moment. And they show us a real application, a funny application of the science. And also in the last years of the high school, I have really good teachers that show us what is engineering, what you can do as an engineer. And I will say that this is why I started to study engineering and why I'm working now on a technology center.
Thanks a lot. So this is also really interesting. And so we see women have quite different histories, how they came into the field. Pilar, how was it with your bio? Have you already decided quite early or in the later stage to go into this field? Pilar, we can't hear you.
Now,
Think
better?
you're mute.
No, I'm not mute.
Now it's working.
Now it's working?
Now it's better.
Yeah. Okay. So I more or less decide early that I prefer science regarding other studies like language or something like that. But I decided to study chemistry because of a teacher that explained me these science very well. So for me to decide one career or other is very important to understand and have good examples or good teachers. And once I was at the university, I had again another teacher who was the one that showed me the technological centers, and he was the director of a technology center where I did my PhD. So I decided that I prefer to work with materials and something more industrial than to be, for example, in a lab. So my decisions were always focused looking at some examples of teachers, of professors.
Great. So we already see that the school and also teachers had quite an influence on all of your decisions. So maybe let's also discuss afterwards how school has an impact on the different topics. But maybe first I would also like to discuss about the current challenges in when entering the manufacturing domain, and also how your start into the field was, and how you think this could be improved also to attract more women into the field. Maybe Pilar, you want to move on. How was your start into the manufacturing? Because you also said you chose the manufacturing domain instead of a lab. So how was your start, and how do you think this is still challenging now from where you started? Maybe you can share some experience on this.
Yeah, I think that probably the most important challenge is the jump between the career and starting to work. I think that in the careers and the degrees are more or less balanced. The workplace is quite different. So I decided to go through manufacturing and studying material science because of this professor. So my first decision was to do my master degree related with ceramic materials. And I did, instead of the university, in a technology center. So you are more close to the industry, you see very real cases, and you realize that you can do a lot of things. For example, in my case, in material science, you can manufacture things that a lot of people use and go in deep in the properties and how is the impact of manufacturing in this kind of parts. So for me, it was quite amazing, and I decided I wanted to do something like this.
So your transition was more fluent and more smooth, as far as I got. Are there other experience from the others? Someone wants to share?
My experience to entering in manufacturing sector was through the information technology company that I worked at. My first job was in telecommunications, but I don't feel comfortable because I prefer to apply my knowledge in industry, and in telecommunication I didn't have the opportunity. So, but my first it was due to also a teacher that influences me to apply the knowledge of process optimization using the new technologies, what we call information technologies and communications to optimize the process. And due to my background on industrial engineering, I developed these activities in a consultancy to assess companies in manufacturing sector. So I have not worked directly for manufacturing companies. I worked for an ICT company to provide assessment consultancy to manufacturing companies. And this was my entrance on manufacturing, or my way to provide services and be in contact.
So this is quite different to the experience of Pilar. Other experiences, so Moniré, I guess with computer science you can work everywhere. And how was your start into the manufacturing domain?
Yeah, basically, yeah, as you also mentioned, yeah, software engineering, it's I would say it's not have a really direct connection with the production line, yeah, because like I was this area, this concept of production line was completely foggy and blurry for me. I had no idea what's going on there. And for me, as also yeah, provided an introduction for me. I'm still a researcher, yeah, so I don't have really a touchable relation with the production line, yeah. But still, it's really interesting to see how I, as a computer scientist, I can bring my knowledge there and how I can relate to the production line. And for me, it's really interesting to see what was happening really in the real time. Yeah,
So
quite
you're
was
more on the
interesting.
interface between the
Exactly,
technology and the manufacturing itself. It's
exactly,
also
and yeah, so yeah, I actually choose to be that bridge between of the theoretical knowledge and the practical one, and it's really fun place to be.
Lucia, you're also, I think, on such a connection because you're also analyzing the data from different processes, and maybe you can share
Yes.
about some more insights about your job.
My start in manufacturing was similar to Pilar. I started because I had to do an internship in widen during my study, my master degree. And I like to work, to be involved in the workshop and how my knowledge can help the workers to improve their daily routine. And this is what engaged me to work in manufacturing.
Thanks for this experience. So we already saw that you can contribute quite differently and in various ways to manufacturing and also to technology. But we also know that there are very minor women graduating from these degrees. So I am wondering, because if you think about shaping technologies is not only about technical skills. Do you think we can also try to attract women with different backgrounds to the industry, and what can Industry 4.0 digitalization offer for these women to also to attract and go into this field? Do you have some ideas, or do you think we can also share help shaping with other non-tech skills?
As an example, if you allow me, I can explain an example of one amazing project from a woman in a car manufacturer in Barcelona. And this project, I find that it was amazing, and probably because it was a woman who leads this project. And it was how to show in a very proximate way how to show the employees of this big car manufacturer the impact of the digitalization in the factory for the workers and how to engage the workers on this digitalization process. And they designed a place where they explain all the revolutions in industry and how this was the first revolution that the revolution in the society, the 5.0, comes from the society inside the manufactories, with the mobiles, with the contributions of the workers. And it was training, Industry 4.0 training for workers in a manufacturer company designed by a woman. So I think that different profiles can contribute in these new ways of trade, the digitalization and the manufacturing environment.
Yeah, I'm also convinced that especially digitalization and Industry 4.0 can contribute also to our society and also environment. So there are many different aspects and also different impacts you can have on when working in the field.
Yeah, maybe I can also add something, yeah, to that. Yeah, exactly. Industry 4 concept is a huge domain. Beside the STEM topic, it also have, as you said, the social activity area, also a climate protection area, and for example, the sustainability, these are will go to the category of sustainability, manufacturing sustainability, and that's a huge let's say domain that I would say would be really interesting for the woman to be involved in, because it's have more social, you need to have more social skills, and then be more social, working with the people, organizing the people, managing the people, and all for that. And then you don't have to be a computer programmer to get into the industry. For no, you have so many opportunity to get into it. You just need to find your place.
So I think it's also depending on some misconceptions people have about working in the manufacturing. So it's not only working in a shop floor and doing mass production, I would say. Do you have some examples on how you can contribute with this technology also to society, to environment? Maybe Lucia, you can share something from your project.
Okay. For me, in my opinion, the main misconceptions that we have related to Industry 4.0 or manufacturing or engineering is first that we associate this with men. And the second one is that we associate manufacturing with boring and non-creative things. And this is not real, because for example, if you are developing a product, you need also expertise from different fields, and not only technical skills, as Monier told us before. For me, this is the two main misconceptions that we have in manufacturing industry.
Mm-hmm. So why do you think, we already had some points, but why do you think women should go into the field? So why does Industry 4.0 need women? Why should women take the opportunity to help shaping this field?
Because
Pilar, yes, Lucia, please go on.
No, Pilar. Pilar, do you want to comment, or?
Otherwise, you can also go on. Pilar?
Yeah, I think that the first thing to attract someone to enter in this field is explain them well and in a funny way. I mean, if you want that someone love this field, the first thing is to understand, and they need to understand how Industry 4.0 mean, and also the what we do in manufacturing. As Munire say, there are a lot of fields in which we can contribute. So in digital aspects, but also in the shop floor. I mean, we are in the shop floor here, for example, in Amen, and we have women welding and doing the same work than men. So the first thing probably is to combine women that they can do all that they want, and try to understand that they understand that if they want, they can, because we have a lot of examples of women that reach the most high level in their careers, in science, in sea science, in chemistry, going to the space, in programming. So we have a very good models, and it's important also that in the first stages of the studies, the women have these models present in order to see that that before us, women achieve a lot of things with more barriers than we have nowadays.
I will add to your comment, Pilar, that Industry 4.0 or the digitalization or the data economy, that is what I am working on, presents a new challenge. So normally manufacturing environments, the shop floor that you comment, is more associated to dirty and hard work, okay? And here the digitalizations offer an opportunity to create new things in a new way. So we are talking about what you are doing in IMEN. We are talking about innovation, creativity. So this could be a motivation for women to participate on the creation of these new business models, environments that doesn't exist now. So probably the old view of the manufacturing as a boring supply chain of producing products now can change their image, and we can talk about ecosystems, data ecosystems, 3D printing, designing. So it's more attractive for the woman, and we can attract them in a.
So this is also an opportunity for companies to try to attract women to the field, as it also doesn't need, because as you can also help shaping this with business knowledge and help shaping new business models. So this is also, I guess, an opportunity for the companies to attract them. But do you have an idea what needs to be changed? So is this a problem for the labor market inclusion, or does the problem exist in a more deeper level? Should we start earlier with attracting them, or is it a problem just to get the women on board and include them in the labor market? So because the opportunities are obviously there, but why do women not enter the field?
Maybe I can comment on that, and I would answer the question. Yes, we need to start with the early ages, like as I also mentioned ago. Also started in early ages, but then how to do that? That's a really tough question. But one of the solution might be to show them, to give information, yeah, to show them about what is going on inside the industry, for even inside the production line, even those dirty places of milling, boring, and so, which is actually at some point would be really interesting for everyone, for like girls and boys, both of them, to see that industry nowadays, specifically industry 4, doesn't need to be only manpower. It already changed. The previous revolution solved that problem. We have the technology to provide this, that everyone can work with the machines, and then everyone can like get involved in it. And I would say, yeah, just have, I don't know, some tours in different topics, and so it would be really helpful for them just to see, get in touch with it.
Actually, we already have a question in the chat, and I think this fits also into this topic. So there's also a variety of social fields in the industry 4.0 involved that could also possibly interest women. So does this mean that women would be more meant for the social aspects of being involved in a company? What do you think about this? It's a question to all.
The moment.
Yes.
Again, I don't.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, okay. From my side, I don't want to just say, okay, this social aspect is only for women to enter. But what I say is the opportunity is there. The ones who prefer to be in more social activity, they can try it. It is a really big topic in industry 4 because it's part of it.
But I will say that is, I agree with you, Monia, when you say we need to start earlier. So I see two aspects. One is the necessity of skills for digitalization. It's a problem for both genders. So we need to promote these STEM careers, scientific careers, because we need people that participate. And almost in Spain, where I look for the numbers, there is a decrease of interest on these careers. So we need to promote them. And then what the other aspect that I see is we need to influence the girls when they are younger to have a spirit of to research, to innovate, to be creative, not just social care. So the social care we don't need to foment, because the costumes or educations brings us to this. We need to foment on these girls the interest on innovation, on create new things, and participate on the creation. For me, this is the base in an early age when they are young. Okay.
In school, I guess. Or
Yes.
so starting
yes.
from in school, do you have an idea on how this could be achieved? So how can we participate more in schools, or how can we attract also the young girls out there already in a very young stage?
I have a comment. Sí. But please, you can talk, Pilar or Lucia.
Lucia, do you have an idea?
Yeah. First, I agree with Sylvia. When we need to attract young women or men both at young ages, and I think teachers are trying to do this, but we need more work, and I think the companies can help in this role to attract people in young minds, let's say. And for doing that, for example, I men could visit some high schools and show what is happening in this building and what we are doing. These things. For me, it's the way what comes to my mind right now when we talk about attracting people. So I don't know.
It's already, I think, a very good idea also to go as projects and as companies to the schools and offer them workshops or presentations on projects and try to engage them there. From your experience also to the others, have you already participated in such an activity, or have you other proposals to get engaged in schools? Maybe your Pilar, or of course also the others.
For example, here in Amen, we try to organize, for example, visits, not only go to the schools, but bring the students here in order to show them how we work and the facilities and so. But maybe we need to push and give more importance to this social aspect. For example, in European projects, you have some you have a section completely focused in gender, in society, but many people filling in with something that they don't give enough importance, sorry, to these aspects. So as gender, society in general, and above all, for example, kids at the schools, sometimes they don't understand our work, and we need to show them as something attractive but also useful. For example, in my case, I coordinate an European project, and the project officer tell me that the people is not interested in to know how is the laser power or the speed, so they want to see how you do in the lab or in your center have a benefit for the society. So you can do the things faster or better, but try to be more close to them. So in the case that we talk with kids, try to put in their place and speak with their words in order to explain better what we do. And with the society in general is exactly the same. Sometimes they don't understand what we do. So we need to push in that sense more and more.
Yeah, maybe I can also mention a really nice, interesting event that is, I guess, one of the social events that planned in Germany. There is once a year, of course, before the COVID pandemic, there was once a year this event that the institutes or universities or at some point the manufacturing, the production line, they open their doors for the families. So the kid just came with their parents and then look through the real machines, yeah, what is going on, and then go to the, for example, to the different labs of the university campus inside the campus, or to different institute, and then on the other side, this institute, university, or the other manufacturer, they provide a really simple demonstration for them, yeah, and then maybe give them something that's just printed. We need a 3D printer as a memory to the kids, and that was really interesting because they saw how 3D printer just work, and that's actually really interesting approach. I found can be really can motivate the kids.
Definitely, I also think so. We also have a question which goes also more in the ethical domain and topic, because also not we already have quite positive experiences now with working in manufacturing, but the reality is also that bullying happens and bullying against women happen in the working environment sometimes. Do you have experience with that, or have you seen or heard about colleagues who happened something against them, and what can you advise for women working in the field and having some experience with that, how to behave?
I don't know who wants to start. I can say that every one of us have something to say. So,
and in my experience, fortunately, I didn't have this situation of bullying or, yeah, not polite behaviors. Okay. But what is true is that sometimes it's hard for a woman to express their ideas and they take seriously, or yeah, you need to invest more effort to demonstrate more the value. And then also another problem that I had in my professional career is the conciliation between family and job. So it has been a challenge for. So what I will say is, in front of these situations, I will propose first the person that is in this situation to insist not so despite of the adversities, the challenge, continue working on their purpose, on his purpose, and on the other side, support the women that wants to enter in manufacturing sector, in new companies, to facilitate the engagement and the conciliation, support one each other. So normally it's normal between colleagues, but in the case of women, more focused purpose with that.
Also, I think with entering more and more women in the field, hopefully in the future, it will get more normal to all of us, basically in the system. And yeah, do you have also other ideas on how to support women, and how can we actually support women entering the field? Have you, from your experiences, so maybe also to propose a women to have a presentation, and also to stand up for the ideas and support them, and just give the psychological support on present this idea is great, present it, and maybe something like this. So any other ideas? It was just my idea which just came to my mind.
Yeah, sure. Of course, it's like all of these points are really important to support each other. As you said, not only like male colleague, but also the female colleague. But the main point, I would say, maybe the main solution, yeah, that Sylvia also mentioned it, is just to focus on your job, yeah, focus on your purpose, on your goal, and just avoid these kind of behavior, which is not easy. Of course, like I also had many experience in that regards. I've worked in many different places, yeah, but thousands of times that I just cried my eyes like back to the home. It was so hard for me, like just to present my idea, to yeah, take seriously. But how you can prove yourself better than you just show the result of your work? Then you will create trust. First of all, you will build your confidence, and after that, you will create a trust for other colleagues, and they even come. Then afterward, they will come to you to ask about your ideas, and opinions. Yeah.
Thank you for this very personal insight and this experience you just shared with us. I think this is also quite valuable for the audience. So if there is any woman out there who just feels like depressed because ideas are not heard, or you just heard the experience of Moniré, so don't give up. It's not because of your personal, but it's just stand up and try again, to insist on your ideas. So you're good, and you're worth for working with your experiences and working in the field. So you see you're not alone. So also from the panelists now, but
Exactly. That's really important sentence, Verena. You're not alone.
you're not
And
alone. Yeah,
and
please go on.
and for this reason, this workshop is really interesting, because we have the opportunity to provide visibility to these topics. And also, I feel very comfortable, for example, when in meetings outside the companies or with other friends that you have in your environment, you have other women who you can share experience, have talks. So creating this kind of networking, female networking, it's also useful to share common points of view, or to support each other on the job, on the to achieve your focus, your purpose. I think this is also an interesting point to support each other, besides it's outside the company with the network that you can create with other women.
So also, yeah, networking is, I think, quite important also to have this possibilities to exchange each other. There is also an idea coming from the audience. So would a mentoring program work and help in the manufacturing world? Do you have experiences? Have you already for yourself performed in a mentoring program? Have you been a mentee, or do you think this could help also other women?
Mentoring a program. Maybe I can really. Yeah, go ahead.
No, I have that mentoring, but it's not just for female purpose. It was just for your career performance in a company. So I don't see if there are not problems in a company, a different things if you have a problem with the behavior of the men, between men and women in a company, and then you need a special program. But if there are not problems, then I don't see this mentoring just for female. Probably what I will see is this is a question, how which programs to reduce the gender gap in the company, how to promote this could be more I will see in a companies how to promote, how to support the females, not personal mentoring program. Do you understand me? I see more as a gender equity program for the company. to promote these kind of programs, not for personal mentoring purpose for females. I don't know. What do you think about that? It's a personal view. Maybe you have a different
Yeah, it's
point.
a personal view. Yeah. Well, personally, I did a mentoring program when I was at school to ease my way into going into the studies. Not sure, but do you think this might be also worth? I personally benefited a lot from this program. Lucia, do you think maybe this would also help other children and other girls also to ease the way into the manufacturing?
Yes, I think that the mentoring is important at a skill level and in the work level. Also, what Silvia mentioned, how we can reduce the gap between men and women, but also in the personal problems that you could have. Also, I think it's important because we are lucky person that we are not suffering this bullying, but imagine that this is happening in other companies. I think people need personal mentoring for
who do you think should organize such a mentoring program? Should this come from the companies or from other institutions outside companies? Do you think would benefit them most?
I think this could be from the company, in my opinion, because the company knows what is happening in all day. So for me, in my opinion, the company should promote this mentoring.
Are there other opinions? Or do we agree on all of them?
I agree on Lucia that in the company level it would be more productive. Yeah. To address the problem and to solve them.
Especially to identify and solve problems in especially dedicated and specific problems. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
And maybe also, as we commented previously, to have examples or models. If you have a mentor that is a woman that works in that field, is going to be an example, a model for you. And you can see very close how this field, how industry, how manufacturing is closer than in other situations. So, yeah, I think it's a good opportunity.
Yeah, this role models is maybe also an interesting topic. Do you think there is a lack of female role models?
In which level? I actually don't think so. No, we would have enough, but on the other hand, I don't see the problem. The point of just focusing on the female role model. I would prefer to do not separate yourself like as a woman from the male society. You can be one of them. If there is no role model, you can be the one, and that's the point to just do not like take yourself like underestimate yourself. Like, do not look for some. Okay, there is no woman, so it's not possible for me to enter.
I think that sometimes the problem is that there are not women in a fantastic roles that could be model for girls, for others. I think the problem is the communication or to be aware or to provide visibility to these models. I think this could be a good thing a good action to inspire girls to achieve this positions or follow these careers, because there are a lot of women in high positions developing challenging jobs in science, in laboratories, investigating. So yeah, or in sports, for example, also.
So maybe we just have to make them more visible.
I think
and give
so.
them the opportunity to communicate their impact and their projects.
Yeah, and maybe in the European Commission in these research projects we can start to identify highlight, because yeah, It's a amazing network of scientists that works in these projects, and there are a lot of females, so why not provide visibility to them and use
Yeah,
as
also
an
this
example.
webinar is a great start, I would say, because
Yeah,
you are all experts in your field and creating really great solutions to different problems. I also, there's a question, also comment in the chat about it's also for women help shaping changing the future with influence on the environmental protection and with in very different regards, and you are the best examples for that, I would say. So we can help shaping technology in many different ways. We just have to make this more visible and communicate this in very different ways. Maybe we also need some support also from authorities or also people in higher positions of the companies to get these opportunities to share and help with the visibility of the different role models. Might be also an idea.
Yeah, might be an idea, but I wanted to have a comment on that, because it might be misinterpretation would be cause of it. Yeah, and that's actually became one of the problem, or maybe even one of the bullying problem that women in industry receive, and that's the topic that they think that we want privilege, not equality.
yeah.
But that's the problem. Like we said, no, like we want you also, male, to, like, we want to work side by side, yeah, side by you, and then work together and seen as equal as you will also do not feel that, like, be underestimated, and so we don't want privilege.
We want
This is a
equality.
no, but this is a recurrent topic in normal conversations with friends, so, or with colleagues. This privilege, yeah. If you promote women, then you are privileging them in front of men, and I cannot agree on this, because it's not a question of privilege. We suppose that you are prepared for the job. It's just because I told every time. So if you look to the boards of the companies, the big companies, all the boards are mostly composed by men instead of women, and it is because the selection is based on relationships. It's not based on proof of career or on application. It's based on relationships, and men use a lot of his time on fomenting relationships and creating networking. But we cannot, almost I cannot, because I need to conciliate my professional career with my family, and I want to be mother too. So I don't have time to go to play, I don't know, whatever, score or whatever, to make relationships and then be applied for a position. I don't know if you understand me. So when we
Yeah,
claim for
totally.
this favor,
Yeah.
is we suppose that the capacity exists in the same level, at the same level.
Yeah, I can give you an example. I see that we also kind of run out of time, but I can give you an example of creating the network, yeah, and the connection, which is really important within the industry. And as you also mentioned, it would be a really big challenge for the women. The example is really related to the DemoFact project. It was a kickoff meeting, and mostly kickoff meeting is for the manager and supervisor, but yeah, at some reason also were there. And by accident, like in a social event, one table was only four women, and the rest were around 65 men, let's say, or say 60 men. So basically most of them were manager. And then I was sitting beside my boss, and then I just thought, okay, now I have two options. I can stay in my safe zone, sitting just in front of the person that I know, and just speaking to the other side of the table, which is mostly women. But on the other side, I can challenge myself, get up, and then create connection. So it was a dinner event, a social dinner event. So I had my pre-course at the table with women. I had my main course in another table. I had my dessert in another table. I had my coffee in another one, and then I just had this chit chat with all of the men, and it actually went really, really great. And on the other hand, it's not really like the problem that can be only for women. That's like a personal problem to just get up and then, you know, challenge yourself and then be out of your safe zone. It was not easy, but it was one of the really good experience that I had. And after the event were finished, and then we were back to the hotel with my boss, and then he just returned to me and said, I saw what you did. And it was really, really interesting approach of networking, to just make best out of your time. You know, so be brave. I would say I was not in my like highest confident. I was struggling, of course, but be brave. Fake it till you make it. Yeah. But then at the end, you will receive really good results.
Completely agree. Yeah, good example.
Leading by example, yeah, and also trying to catch the opportunities to have and make the best out of it, what is possible at the current stage. I think this is the main message we can give from the panel. I guess everyone is nodding, so I think we can give this as a key message to all the women out there. So to wrap up, because we're also running out of time, I guess, as far as I see, do you think, what do you think is the main aspect Industry 4.0 offers for women and the other way around? So why do you think it's important to, and how we can close this gender gap in manufacturing? Maybe just everyone can give 1 or 2 sentences, or the main key aspects you want to give to the audience for as a wrap up. Maybe we can start with Lucia.
Okay. Okay, in my opinion, Industry 4.0 requires quite a high qualified personnel for developing and deploying these digital tools. And when it comes to applying for a job, there is nothing that women can beat men at. We have the same knowledge, we have the same capabilities, the same experience. So to be honest, I truly believe that digitalization can help to even the odds between men and women.
Silvia, do we want to go on?
Yes, continuing with what Lucia have said, I will add that here we have a great opportunity, and the workshops that you have organized, all the projects together, to identify actions that we can embrace all together to promote Industry 4.0 between girls in the schools, to define some actions, as Monri has explained it in Germany, or create some acknowledgement for teachers, for schools. So I think it's an opportunity to motivate the girls and the childs in general in an early stage for the digitalization Industry 4.0. This is my wrap up of the session, main aspects.
Thanks. Yeah, Pilar, what do you think? What are the main aspects to promote this reducing of gender gap?
I think in my opinion, we should to give more visibility using this field and trying to explain better through different mechanisms, as Silvia and Lucia said. And in any case, I think that it's not going to widen the gender gap. I think it's a new opportunity to support the manufacturing industry and even for women. So probably the most important thing is try to to explain better what this means and give more visibility in order to engage more women.
Thank you. Yeah, and Moniré would.
Yeah, exactly. So I cannot be more agree with the with my fellow woman here. Yeah, of course. To present what is really now the fourth revolution of the industry is to the maybe early ages, to the schools or even to the university, and on the other hand, it's also would be maybe a job, something that women and the girl can also do from themselves. I would guarantee you that you can find something that's really interesting within under the flag of Industry 4.0, because it's a huge domain. There are so many vocation and opportunity that you can relate yourself to it, and it's really, to be honest, really fun. It's really fun and interesting job at the end. Yeah.
Yeah, I can also just agree. So as far as I got from all the discussions we had now, we need all people on the table to engage the women in the field and also to close this gender gap. So we need the schools, we need the companies, we need also the men and the women, of course, we need the universities, we need all of them to align and bring them all, and to show also the young children, also not only the girls but also the boys, how you can have an impact in working in the manufacturing on our society and on our climate. So there is so much to do. There's so many opportunities. You can engage in so many different ways, also with different backgrounds, and I think we need all our opportunities and all the people on the table to make some also progress. They are also not forgetting about the challenges which are currently open now. We also discussed some of them, but I think this is an action point to all of us, and we will work, I think, on these challenges, but we also need all the stakeholders on board. But I think this is the kind of wrap up we can give here. And yeah, I think this closes also this webinar. So take the opportunity, try to engage and make the best out of what you have and how you can change the world, I would say. And I thank also to the audience for the interesting questions and the comments. Unfortunately, we couldn't tackle all of them, but you see, this is a broad topic and lots of discussion topics to cover. And thank you for your attendance, and also thank you to the panel. Thank you, Lucia. Thank you, Silvia, Pilar, and Moniré, for your inputs, for your experiences to share. I think this was really a great discussion and many interesting topics. And so it's just for me to say goodbye to the audience. Thank you for your attendance and take care, and see you for the next web cafe soon. Thank you all.
Thank you,
Thank you, Verena.
Thank you.
Wish you all the best.
Thank you.
Thank you. All the best. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.